Hey, I am Adam from GT Speed, and this is a 2010 GMC Sierra that I recently bought at a dealers-only auto auction. Take a look and see what I have into it. Pulling it off the trailer for our first real assessment. As you can hear, we've got an exhaust leak. I believe that tick is an exhaust leak, not a valve train tick. Looks like somebody has refinished the bottom of the doors with an odd black. It's almost a little purplish. So you can see where they masked it below the body side moldings. The rockers are blown out, so they need to be replaced. This running board needs to go because the lower mounts are gone. It's too bad the paint is rough because this color is awesome. I believe it's called carbon black. Really looks excellent in the sunlight. We got the rust on the bed sides, not so well hidden. Complimentary tire shine. I mean, look at that. Come on. Let's see. The undercarriage is a New England truck. But hey, look at that. A Dorman diff cover. So somebody's been in a rear end recently. This one could be a good candidate for sandblasting again. We'll kind of see. It is stuck in four-wheel drive right now. So I got to do some research, figure out what I can do to get the automatic four-wheel drive selector working properly. It's a 6-seater truck, really odd trim level because it's got a power seat, the trailer brake controller, rubber floors, which is pretty common for a base model work truck. But it's got some good options. Somebody did a Rhino liner or Line-X at some point, so that's nice. What do you think? Should I keep it or sell it? It's got 150,000 miles on it. Oh, here we go. Just a tire light and the trailer brake controller. We'll see what else it needs. Checking out under the hood. Got the cold air intake, doot doot. The manifold actually looks to have all its bolts still on. Oh man. Look at that spark plug on here. That's a little unusual. You ever see something like that? Wow. I wonder what is going on there. Let's take a look.
The good news is I feel like that was probably my exhaust leak. There's a little bit of compression leaking by each spark plug. But who the hell put these spark plugs in like that? Let's check them out. Look all right. I'm just going to put some season. Gonna tighten that in. Oh, there's finger tight. Going to the correct factory torque specification.
So every single spark plug on this 5.3 was loose. So I pulled out all the plugs, put a little dab of anti-seize on them, and then dielectric grease on all of the plug wires, tightened them up to what I felt was appropriate. And I have a sneaking suspicion that that could have been that ticking or exhaust leak that I was hearing. So let's give it a shot and see how we are. Ermagerd, it fixed it. Wow. Free fix? I will take it. Oh yeah. Those plug wires are no longer pulsing. We hear no more ticky-ticky. Free fix. I love it. So between the four-wheel drive, free fix, and the exhaust leak, free fix, and I took off the running boards, free fix, I'm still $2,275 into this truck. so far so good. Getting it set up on the lift. First thing I'm gonna do is pull this bed off so I can further assess the rust damage. All right. I wanna make sure these are nice and clean coming out. So I'm soaking them in penetrating oil. Run the bolt back in. Run the bolt back in and back it out. That should make it nice and clean on those threads. Back and forth. There we go. Getting a little of the go-go juice in there. Pretty generous with it. Oh look, there's a rust hole. I'll go in over there. Looks like we're gonna need cross members in the bed, but I already knew that. Come on. A little of the sauce. And same deal, I'm gonna back them out and run them back in to get some penetrating oil.
Got it. What?
I think that was a good sign.
That was not a good sign.
It wasn't a good sign?
Nope.
I think it was a good sign. Let's see.
Video.
No, this ain't gonna work. I gotta try a different tactic.
Daddy, can you stop that for a minute?
Yep.
I think. That's it.
Yep. All the crusty brown stuff. We got to make it look nice. Oh yeah, definitely that spot. Got to fix all the crust. It's a must.
This big center right here and right here
Yep.
and right there. How about right there? I think this one.
That actually looks pretty good. But look over here. The cross member. Wolf. It's got a hole in it. Litter bug. What do you think of the truck bed off the truck? Is that cool?
I like it.
Maybe we could move this into your room and make this your actual bed. I don't know, put a mattress in it. Wouldn't that be cool, sleeping in a truck bed?
Yeah.
I like it.
Okay, I
Got the harness all disconnected here. And I'm just gonna tuck it out of the way. Not quite ready to disconnect. Got the rear bumper off, got the spare tire out, got the electrical harness out. Basically almost ready for sandblasting. I do want to have this trailer hitch, receiver hitch sandblasted as well, but tell me what you think. Oh, that doesn't look safe. I wouldn't want to tow with that thing. So, looks like that's going to the scrap yard. Maybe I'll buy another. Okay, that took about 20 minutes or so. I used my Milwaukee chop to get all that out, the cutoff wheel. And I'm gonna grind and prime all of these areas to make sure everything lasts a while. But you can see how nicely that's gonna go on. And once it's coated, you'll never even know. It'll be like brand new. It's pretty much the equivalent to POR 15. Stuff dries like cement, so definitely try not to get it on your skin. I've had it on my face before, and it's just like a tattoo for a week or so. Got the underside of my bed all coated. This is that SEM rust shield, so I try to strip back the rust as best I can, and then you can coat right over it, and it locks it in, starves it, so hopefully it won't grow. It'll drastically slow it down. set up for my sandblaster to come out today. He should be here any minute. Got the wheels off, lifted up so he could get underneath nice and easy. I did leave the gas tank in it because I'm not sure if you know this, it's kind of difficult to drive a truck around when there's no gas tank in it. So, you know, I'll just grind around the frame rail behind it. I got to pull it in order to replace this Crossmember. So I will be pulling the gas tank, but it just didn't work out today. So I've got it jacked up. I want him to get underneath the truck as best as possible, clean up that whole rear axle, the leaf springs, the frame rails underneath, the inside of the rockers. I want the undercarriage of this truck to look gorgeous, like new. So as soon as he sandblasts it, I'm gonna get ready to coat it with epoxy primer because I am not having any flash rust on this. Just won't have it, not in my house. But stay tuned. I'll show you some videos of the sandblaster in action. Oh yeah, so my guy Jeff over at JCR Blasting just finished up, cleaned up the whole frame. It is looking sweet, like brand new. It's definitely a little punky in some spots. We got some holes, but that's to be expected. But oh my God, look at that rear axle, the brake drums, everything looks incredible. So I'm getting ready to spray some epoxy primer on this right away because I am not letting it flash rust. It's a really humid day. We've had rain for the past few days. Even in my garage, this can rust overnight. So I want to get epoxy primer on it immediately. Oh yeah, got the frame all coated in epoxy primer. That way it's protected. I'd hate to spend the money to sandblast and then watch it flash rust overnight. The humidity and rain we've been having is crazy, so this will get ruined. I had it all in primer within an hour after he was done sandblasting, and it's looking brand new already. What a transformation instantly. But you can see there's a couple of spots that I'm gonna have to take care of. One right there, for sure. Obviously doing the cross member there. And there's a couple underneath as well. Oh, I'm doing those rockers, definitely. But there's a couple patch spots underneath. But oh man, my favorite, look at the rear axle. Just gorgeous, you know? Have some primer cooking off the exhaust for a little while, but ain't no thing. Ooh, I love that transformation. Well, here's something fun. Yes, this was a rusty truck, and do you know what else rusts on rusty trucks? Brake lines. And the sandblaster, unfortunately, pushed it over the edge. So you can see this line has already been replaced. It must have been a little crusty. The sandblaster blasted right through it, and I thought, okay, just a little droplet right there, no big deal. And then I looked over here on the leaf spring. It's covered in brake fluid, and then goo! All up the back of the truck, covered in brake fluid. So, you know, the surprise things you encounter when working on a truck like this. But at least it happened now and not while me or somebody else was on the highway or in traffic. Oh well, roll with the punches. All right, one of the first things I like to do to most of my vehicles is change the oil. It does have a good oil change sticker on this one, so it looks like it's still within the range, but you never know. Good peace of mind to swap the oil out. And I always get a good deal on oil changes at Walmart, believe it or not. So, you know, I buy a lot of stuff at the auto parts store, but I always get the best price on quality oil and filters. I got an AC Delco filter and a Mobile One oil change for this for like $33. So, you know, that at AutoZone or anywhere else would cost me probably 50 bucks. So, you know, don't underestimate Walmart. Let's go. Hup. Okay, so plans changed. I was going to be working on that Crossmember over there first, but since I'm draining out my entire braking system right now, all the brake fluid's leaking out, I'm gonna fix that brake line first because... Oh, there it goes. All right, that came off pretty easy. You know, some people hate on AutoZone, but not me. I have nothing but good experiences. Well, I'll say 9.5 times out of 10, great experiences at AutoZone. Today being one of those. My guy Ray down at AutoZone in the commercial department helped me get the correct brake line. I love getting these pre-made brake lines because they make your life so much easier. All right, hate on AutoZone all you want, but they came in clutch. Got the pre-made brake line here. Tell me how much you don't like my bends in the comments. All set. No more leaky. Look at that, right? If you didn't know anything, you'd think it's factory. But if you know anything, you won't like those bends. Oh well, as long as it holds. Something else alarming I found after I got the fuel tank shield off is this gas tank strap is doing nothing. Completely disconnected. It's got a Bluetooth gas tank strap. Not doing anything, will not connect. Okay. How the hell is this tank even in there? Got the new rail all in place, tacked up in place how I like it, but I ran out of weld wire. So you can see I got it started, welded there. Just a few strategic spot welds to make sure it's right where I want it, the shock lines up. Still have to get that exhaust hanger on and finish weld all around, but I'm gonna have to go get some new weld wire tomorrow because the day's almost over. There's the cross member I took out. Thank you very much, General Motors. But this is gravy work for me, so I ain't complaining. Bunch of you welding snobs were complaining about my welds in one of my last videos, which is fine, I can take it. But I'm getting better, you know, not too bad. That side is a start, but this side is looking good. Getting ready to spray some rust shield on the frame. Okay, here we are, start of day 5. I don't know, I'm losing track. But the frame is done. It was definitely a lot of work, but it's looking good. And it was the worst part of this truck. So the rear axle, the frame rails, that cross member, the couple of patches I had to put in, all looking good. So I'm psyched to be done with the frame rail. Now I can get started on the rockers. You can see here the new cross members in. I had to plate it up a little on the bottom too. So I put in a reinforcement here to box it out. And same on the inside as well. Extra reinforcement over here. So making some progress. Getting the harness all reinstalled, trying to figure out where it goes. One thing to make sure you always do, clean your grounds. Metal on metal is best. Cleaned up that copper terminal, cleaned up the steel on this cross member, got some new hardware to put that back together. Getting ready to install a gas tank by myself. Let's see how this goes. Harness in, gas tank in, hooked up, yep. Didn't pop a fuel line this time, that's always good. So now I can get started on the rear shock. Parts are starting to stack up. Let's get these on the truck. So I want to protect this for a while. I'm using this Amber Rust Proof. Now, I spray it all inside the frame rails, especially in these cross members. Coat it really good. Be generous. I'm a generous guy. Now, do something that GM could have done, but they chose not to. Get these caps here. Give them a little tap, tap, tap. And that'll keep the moisture and the road debris and the salt out of this cross member, and hopefully it'll last for years to come. Okay, today's the day we're doing rockers. The frame is all done, as you can see. I replaced that cross member, had the frame completely sandblasted, and then I coated it with epoxy primer and then a rust-proof paint. The rockers don't look bad from here, but look at this. Ooh! Before I get started, I want to make sure that the parts jive with my truck. So I got these These are the slip-on style rockers. So you can buy a full rocker panel and go all the way up to the weather strip and do it 100% the best way possible. I'd call that a 9.5 out of 10. This one, we're gonna do about a 7 out of 10, like I said. These just slip on. I am gonna cut out all of the rust, and I'm probably gonna cut this seam here and just mate it up right along this seam. That will help a lot with the body work, and I don't need to remove the weather strips, the rubber floors, and all that stuff. So let's see how they fit. Here I'm spraying some fluid film oil undercoat to prevent the rockers from rusting in the future. Well, that's it. The rockers are done. They're looking good. Like I said, 7 out of 10. Not gonna win any car shows, but they look a lot better than most people would do. It's gonna pass inspection, which is great, and it's gonna last a while, which is also great. All right, kids, today we're going to be talking about the importance of paying attention. Now, I may be extraordinarily handsome, but I'm not perfect. I still make mistakes. Now, I am replacing these cross members here, here, and here because they rot out, and then your bed could fall off, go flying down the road. Probably not. That's a little dramatic, but still, we want to be safe. So I bought this cross member kit to replace these, and I thought I was doing a great job getting them all in place. Now, if you look, you have 2 options for where the bed mounts right here, but only 1 for where the bed mounts right here. And if you look up there, it should be in line with that mount, which it's not. So I done messed up, Ron. All right, so if you look, this one with the 2 holes is supposed to be up here, and this one mount is supposed to be right here. So I got all fancy, welded it all in, and this one should be up there, this one should be down there. Now I gotta strike that, reverse it. The lesson here is, do as I say, not as I do. That's all for now. Stay tuned and watch me fix my mistake.
This one goes here. And the holes will line up.
So, just getting ready to weld up this cross member in its new location, which is right here. You can see by all of my vice grips, that's where it's gonna go. Now I want to double, triple check so I don't make that mistake again, that the holes jive. They line up where they're supposed to. So mount hole there, and they correspond with mount hole there and mount hole there. So, don't make that mistake. All right, that front cross member is all welded up. The middle cross members are all done. Now it's time for every used car salesman's best friend, rubberized undercoat. Bottom of the bed is all undercoated, sealed up. All the cross members are welded beautifully. Now, just time to button up the heat shield. Ooh, doggy. All right, you call them fender flares. I call them rust covers because I'm an honest guy, and it is what it is. You're not putting them on because of the beefy look. You're putting them on because, because of that. Welcome to New England. Getting ready to replace the bedside panels, or the rust repair panels, on my 2010 GMC Sierra. As you can see here, this is a New England truck. This is what we deal with on every one of these. Silverado or Sierra, GMT 500 I think it's called. All of these rot away on the bedsides there and the rockers. The rockers are already done. The frame has been sandblasted and coated with a rust-proof coating. I put the caps on the frame rails there. So one of the last pieces of rust repair to do is the bedside panels and the bottoms of the doors. So far, I have these rust repair panels I bought on eBay or Amazon. I think I got these ones on eBay for around 150 to 160 bucks. So definitely worth it. They're a nice high quality panel. You can see I kind of have it test fitted. All right, so I did a little grinding, sanding, trimming, and just kind of coated it in something that should last a while and prevent the rust from coming back. So it isn't a 10 out of 10, but it's gonna last, it's gonna look great, and it's gonna sell. A brand new bumper for $165? Forget about it. No brainer. The rear bumper is all mounted up, looking good. Really worth every penny. You know, maybe I won't get it back in the end, but right now I'm pretty happy with it. Getting ready to install my body side molding. If you look here, you can see the difference. This is new paint from here down. This is old paint from here up. There is a hard defined line right there, which is only going to be more noticeable with time. But I knew that was going to happen, so I'm putting a body side molding right here to separate it. Now, the factory moldings, I'm sure, are probably $600 or more. And then you can get an aftermarket set for probably about 150 bucks. But I got this roll of universal body side molding for $22, maybe even less. Let's see how it looks. Got my body side molding in place, firmly stuck there. Now I'm going to use a heat gun to set it in place and trim along these edges, which this stuff is pretty thin. I should be able to trim it with a utility knife and give it a nice little beveled edge. But so far, I'm happy with it. I think it's going to look good. Got a brand new blade on a utility knife here. Just going to kind of go back and forth. Here it is all sanded with 1500 grit. You can see the run is completely gone. Once it polishes out, you'll never even know. Bedside panels are all done, looking sharp and straight. Still have to do a final detail on the truck, but it's basically done. Getting ready to post this one up for sale. But I'm really happy with the way the bedsides came out. Looking slick. And here it is. The truck is all done. Shined up, mechanically perfect, cosmetically really nice. Overall, this is a really great truck, especially for a 2010 with 158,000 miles on it. But I'm really happy with the finished product. I love this generation truck. I actually feel as though these are better trucks than the 2014 to 2019s. So here it is, all done. I'm hoping to list it up for $10,995. Hopefully I can get 10 grand out of it. What do you guys think it's worth? I had about 2.5 weeks worth of hard work into this truck, and I'm super happy with the outcome. I posted it on Facebook Marketplace for $10,995, and believe it or not, one of my YouTube subscribers saw the videos, loved the work I did, and loved the truck, so he and his son came and bought the truck. Shout out to John and Jason for making the trip up. You bought a great truck, and I wish you the very best of luck with it. I ended up getting exactly what I wanted for the truck in the end, so I guess it all worked out. Please feel free to drop a comment. Let me know what you think about my work, what you think about the truck, and what I could be doing better with my videos, because I'm trying to improve every week. As always, please like and subscribe. That helps me out tremendously. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.